What is they talking about though? You're big MRMWRW Mafia.
Dark side.
Come
Light
vibe
this
with the
bitch
tribe. Kirby, what up though? I'm breaking it down, ground. I'm working my way up. You a way stuck, get your weight up. You're looking for pay, cuz I want all of my peoples to wake up. Sleep, Frank Ocean, dig, peak. There's not a method of the week. Fools, choose. I'm making a break of the rules. Fools, choose. It's the hammer, I'm busting the moves. I wake up like this, blessed. Everything else just a test. Stress was created for licking the less. I'm with the guards, yes. Fact, me and Kirby finessing the beat. 10 toes, M.I.M. when we reppin' the street. I am the chief, this is the tribe. I ended the different electrical side. Come get you a vibe. This is my land, is my only reply.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, G, what up? Yeah. Back in my bag, no book for the papers. Ain't got time for my bitch, cause I'm running up papers. Just like that I keep the flavors, from the lows to the highs. Man, my niggas elevating. Say you got motion, but you niggas just talk. Big dog in the yard, and you bitches just balk. Look me in my eyes, say it with your chest when you talk. Boys do what they can, and men do what they want. Break that shit down, half O's to the pounds. Put my thoughts to action, Jackson's niggas like the stunt, a different fabric. Magic hat been pulling rabbits out of hat. Trick you out your life, Houdini, Lord Janie couldn't bring it back. Niggas be capping, say whatever when they rapping. Tell your life story, and what really fucking happened. I can see clearly now that the rain is gone. Actions to my words, you can see me here when they play my song. Forever do the man. And Ladybug, yeah, love is love. Loyal to my children, family first, and putting my heart in every verse.
It's a whole lot of talking. Fuck is they talking about though? You're big MRMWRW Mafia.
Dark side.
Come
Light
vibe
this
with the
bitch
tribe. Kirby, what up though? I'm breaking it down, ground. I'm working my way up. You a way stuck, get your weight up. You're looking for pay, cuz I want all of my peoples to wake up. Sleep, Frank Ocean, dig, peak. There's not a method of the week. Fools, choose. I'm making a break of the rules. Fools, choose. It's the hammer, I'm busting the moves. I wake up like this, blessed. Everything else just a test. Stress was created for licking the less. I'm with the guards, yes. Fact, me and Kirby finessing the beat. 10 toes, M.I.M. when we reppin' the street. I am the chief, this is the tribe. I ended the different electrical side. Come get you a vibe. This is my land, is my only reply.
Yeah. Yeah, G, what up? Yeah. Back in my bag, no book for the papers. Ain't got time for my bitch, cause I'm running up papers. Just like that I keep the flavors, from the lows to the highs. Man, my niggas elevating. Say you got motion, but you niggas just talk. Big dog in the yard, and you bitches just balk. Look me in my eyes, say it with your chest when you talk. Boys do what they can, and men do what they want. Break that shit down, half O's to the pounds. Put my thoughts to action, Jackson's niggas like the stunt, a different fabric. Magic hat been pulling rabbits out of hat. Trick you out your life, Houdini, Lord Janie couldn't bring it back. Niggas be capping, say
Yo, what's the vibes, tribe? This is I Can't Make This Shit Up podcast with myself, BigChief, not the little one, G the Starflower, melanated god of love. My goddess, Aquarius goddess, And today we have two special guests pulling up to vibe with the tribe. My brother from another JB Miles is in the building, and my sister Baby Harris is supposed to be pulling up as well. So, this is definitely a good show for me personally. But this is OG Talk. This is where you sit back, relax, roll your weed up, get your little drink, and listen to a OG Talk. Fuck is y'all talking about? And my topic for today is the more you grow, the more you know. You hear me? Experience is your only teacher. Experiences is knowledge. How could you know something if you haven't experienced it? If you haven't went through this shit, how do you know? Fuck is they talking about? Welcome my brother JB Miles in the building.
What
Salute
it do,
my
man? What
brother.
it do, man? Peace and love, man. How you doing today, brother?
All is well, man. How's your energy, bro?
Hey, man, I'm here. God bless you. Heard?
Yes, sir. Hold up. I might gotta drop and come back, bro. Don't go nowhere because my sound went out. Hold up. All right, I'm back. You can hear me, brother?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. I don't know what that is. Hold up. All right, cool. All right. Yeah, so like I was saying, bro, my topic for today is the more you grow, the more you know. You know, that makes a lot of sense to me. And I hope it makes sense to others as well, man. Because it's like uh, if you haven't experienced things, but it's like, how do you actually know something if you haven't experienced it? You know, people be living their lives according to a book, which is something they have no true knowledge of. The only way you have true knowledge, clear understandings of something, is if you experienced it. That's why I have no beliefs in anything outside of self. I'm sorry. I can only believe self. Because I'm going through this. I'm creating this life that I'm living out here. That's what's real to me. Can't no
Right.
book tell me the life that I'm going to live out here, bro? Like, what? Come on, man. Let's make it make sense.
Yo, it's I, it's the way the world is now.
Hmm.
I'll say now it's all about I mean, in my opinion
Powering
on the
on.
matter, I think it's social media do a lot of it help a lot of people feel like they know what's going on.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I help them feel like, oh, I watch. I don't know. I feel like social media play a big part in the way people like
For
carry
sure.
themselves nowadays. Like,
Hmm.
people will big up what's wrong because it's popular rather than go with what's right at heart. You know what I mean? Like, so you're right. You know what I mean? You can't grow if you ain't been through nothing. Um,
Facts.
we all tend to use what we go through as a crutch, uh, as an excuse on why things are the way they are, I guess. But a lot of people have that ability to take what they went through and turn it into something great, and a lot of people don't have that ability.
Hmm.
And some people struggle with it, but you definitely don't know nothing if you ain't gone through it. Or I mean, I'll say been close with somebody going through something, or
Hmm.
been there hand in hand with somebody experiencing some shit you
Hmm.
never have. But the only way you learn, and the only way you grow is by experience.
Facts.
You gotta do the things that you tell yourself not to, you gotta, put your best foot forward and do that shit, man.
Thinking outside the box sometimes as well. Sometimes we put ourselves in a box. It don't even have to be somebody else putting us in it. You know what I'm saying? And that
So
comes
you're
from
valuable.
you can't hear me?
I hear you, it's just low.
I don't know what the fuck going on, bro. That shit.
At first it was loud, then it went low.
That's why I ain't got the goddamn fucking tablet right now because my son took it to school and shit. So I gotta work off this goddamn phone, man. But you're right. You're 100% right on what you're saying, brother. You know, because somebody else, like if you're close to somebody that's going through certain things, that's a part of your experiences too. Because you're connected to someone that's actually going through this. So, you know, that definitely is considered part of your experiences, being connected to someone else that may be going through certain things. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's all a learning process, though, bro. We supposed to learn from these experiences, right? Not repeating them, you know, and that's the problem. We continue to repeat certain shit instead of learning from those experiences and moving on and growing from it as well, you know, because it's all about growth, bro. It's not meant for any of us to stay the same, bro. We supposed to grow into a better version of self. You know, you've witnessed growth within me personally, and the same as I've witnessed in you. You know, I can say I've seen your growth versus from when we first met. I can say I seen growth within you. You know, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can say the same when it come to me. You know, but that's what it's all about, bro. We're doing the work.
Yeah, you gotta put the work in. You gotta want it.
Facts. Gotta want it.
If you
You
don't
know,
want it, it's never gonna work out the way you want it to, because you ain't even putting in the groundwork. You gotta put the footwork in. You gotta be, like I said, you gotta be willing to take the risks that you normally wouldn't take.
mm-hmm.
To put yourself in certain positions to do more, or be more. I mean, you just can't be opposed to certain shit. Like, I know it's a crazy world out there now, so it's less likely for a person to be so open to do certain shit, because everything is so fucking frowned upon nowadays.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, yes, some of the greatest people in the world took the risk
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and came up.
So, do you feel like, bro, based off of our generation coming up, you know, and what's going on now, do you feel like it'll be harder for someone to have those understandings or able to reach that mindset of knowing these things based on what's going on now within the world, bro, versus when we was coming up, you know?
I ain't gonna lie, these kids nowadays, they soft.
Mm.
Uh, they don't really learn much because they don't really go through much, other than what social media tells them, or the poison that some of these parents feed off of the social media to their kids. These kids don't have a chance to live. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And part of that is, from society. You got all these people and these kids going missing, and it's unsafe out here. But
Mm-hmm.
you're not teaching these kids nothing about sheltering them. You
Facts.
know,
Facts.
you let your kids go outside. Teach them awareness.
Mm.
You got to be aware of your surroundings. You got to be aware of where you are, who you with, and what is going on. They don't learn that by being in the house.
Mm-mm.
I was outside early. You know what I'm saying? Punishments and shit like that kept me from going outside, but ultimately I was outside early. I was always outside. I
Mm-hmm.
was always doing something I shouldn't have been. Always somewhere
Always.
I have been. People I probably shouldn't have been with. Always
Mm-hmm.
hanging around the older kids doing dumb shit because I just wanted to fit in. But all of that shit taught me my awareness.
Mm.
I know when it's probably not the best time to be certain places. I know, you know, when I am in certain places, what I gotta watch for, who I gotta watch for. I'm making everything. I mean, I make everything accountable. So, I don't see these kids nowadays, bro. They not like they learning, I guess. But when we was growing up, we had the book and street mentality. Like, I couldn't be outside if my homework wasn't done. You know what I'm saying? If I'm missing assignments or didn't do homework, I don't get to go to no fucking football practice. You know what I'm saying? I don't get to go outside and ride my bike. I'm not sitting in the house on my PS5 still laughing and joking with my friends. These kids they ain't nobody hard on these kids. So now I think that they're gonna have it a lot harder than what we did when they get older, 18, 21, 25, etc. Like they're gonna have it a lot harder because us as parents, we shelter so much and ain't teaching these kids nothing. And nowadays everybody want to be nobody want to work no more. Everybody want to be a social media star or a rapper or an actor or a basketball player, football player. Like nobody, you don't have the little kids that want to grow up and be police officers no more, or firefighters or doctors and nurses. You don't have that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? Because all of the negative shit is glorified. Then you know what I mean. And it feel like the people who actually doing what they had to do to get to where they are, they fighting more to be paid to where, people out here who ain't really doing shit getting paid. You know what I mean? We got motherfucking YouTube stars that make more money than doctors and nurses. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's man, the world ain't right, man. That shit ain't right, man. These kids gonna have it a lot harder growing up than what we did because the shit's only gonna get worse. You know what I mean? And because they're not out in the shit, they don't have the ability to adapt. We got that ability to adapt. We can adapt to, what I mean, the cold nights outside, or what I mean, like we've been through it, the homeless shit, all that shit, we've been through it. You know what I mean? My peoples kicked me out when I was like 16, 17, man. Like the fuck, I've been through all of that. You know what I mean? Like that shit. They ain't been through none of that, bro.
I mean, that's why we having this topic today.
And because we the parents who went through it, we try to shelter our kids from it, like not remembering, like that is what made us what we are today. Hold up.
That's a fact. That is definitely a fact, man. Oh man, because I just spoke on the fact that I just said this to my mom the other day, and I think I might have said it on the podcast, but I spoke about the reasons why a lot of children go through those trials and tribulations, those traumas in life, right? A lot of it don't be created by the parents. Well, it do be created by the parents, right? And the reason that is because we be intervening on our children's journeys by wanting for them what we want for them,
Right.
instead of allowing them to do what they actually want to do in life. We be really
Yeah.
forcing things. Like, all right, prime example, bro, when you said about the kids wanting to grow up to be firemen and police officers and things like that. That's a lot of stuff that we've heard when we were kids. You know what I'm saying? But that actually came from the parents trying to instill that into the kids. Who's to say that that's what they really wanted to do, or that's who they really wanted to be? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the shit be something we are forcing on them, or something that we want for them. It might have been something that we wasn't able to experience ourselves. So we're trying to force it onto our children. But is that what they really want to do in life? You know? So me personally, I feel like that's us intervening. And I've done this, bro. That's why I'm speaking highly on it, because I'm that parent that has done that. But now I'm realizing that that was me trying to force something on them that I wanted for them, instead of allowing them to do what they want to do, with their own lives, bro. So that's basically us intervening on their journeys. We all have a set journey out here, separately. That's how I
That,
look at it.
yeah. No, you right though. You right. You know what I mean? You're not wrong. You definitely not wrong.
So I mean,
I think some of that shit was probably pushed on, you know, a lot of us as kids, but we look at it like this. I look at it like this. 9 times out of 10 as a kid, if you said I want to be a police officer or a firefighter, that ain't even what you grew up to be. You grew up to be something important, but it wasn't what you said at 5 years old. You know what I mean? So yeah, a lot of that shit do be parent influence, but you know, once you get to high school and you graduate, you know, and you get to college, you know, after once you get to college is when you should be able to answer the question, what do you want to do with your life? You know what I mean? Maybe not in elementary school, maybe not in middle school, you know what I mean, definitely not in high school. You know what I mean? Because these are all ideas of where you see your life at the moment. You know what I mean? But you know, once you get to college, you're you're really taking that step into the real world. You know what I mean? Because now, unless you got parents who got money or scholarships and shit, now you stepping in because now you got to be able to, these are the things that prepare certain people for certain ways of life. You know what I mean? Like certain motherfuckers who didn't go to college probably wasn't, you know, savvy on paying their bills and managing to, you know, pay for, you know, schooling and, you know what I mean, manage to have a couple dollars on the side. You know what I mean? Like that's what got them prepared for being able to buy that house in their 30s. You know what I mean? Or 40s. Hold on.
But shit, and then but at the same time, I see a lot of motherfuckers that has
So,
been to
you
college.
know,
Go ahead.
it's like that's why they be able to buy them houses in their 30s and their 40s. And you know, some people got the help. You know what I mean? I ain't even gonna sit here and act like, you know, a lot of these motherfuckers do. Some motherfuckers do it on their own. You know what I mean? And it took them a while to get there. And then you got some motherfuckers who, you know, got, you know, family members who meet them halfway. Yo, you get this, I give you this. Boom. You know what I mean? And shit like that, which is cool too. You know what I mean? But certain aspects of schooling does teach. It just don't teach what the curriculum is, you know, like trying to teach. But it teach, if you pay attention, it really teach you life. You know what I mean? Like life. And some people don't experience that shit. And being out in the streets, you know, like it teach you to be aware. It teach you to know that, you know, if you too fucked up in the streets, you can't be too fucked up in the streets. So now you got to figure it out. You got to grind. You got to make a way, and you know you got to have this amount of money so you can eat this week, and this amount of money so you could, you know, get your room for the week or whatever have you. You know what I mean? Like it teach you so much that schools ain't really teaching you.
Big facts.
You know what I mean? It's just all ass backwards. Like I get it. You know, they do need to learn how to add, subtract, multiply. They should know about the history of, you know, I guess the
But guess
United
what,
States.
bro?
And
Guess what? That shit we can teach them. They don't even need to go to school for that.
yeah, they
They don't
don't.
even know. They don't even need to go to school for
Well,
that,
they
bro.
don't because I just think it's confusing for them. You go to school, you hear all this shit at school, but then you get on social media and then you listen to your, you know, your parents and their beliefs. So now, you know, it's just all fucked up because you sending these kids to school every day to teach them one thing, but then, you know, when they at home, you teaching them another thing,
Or you showing another
and you
thing.
showing them another thing. Like
Right.
these kids don't stand a chance, bro. I'm sorry, they don't stand a chance. You know, they weak. They, you know what I mean? They don't get that chance to, you know, really stand up for themselves. That's why you see so many kids get bullied, so many kids bringing knives to school, guns to school, because when we was growing up, it was if somebody hit you, hit their ass back. Simple as that. Maybe not in schools, but shit, schools what it was. Ain't no questions asked, you know what I mean? So nowadays, they teaching these kids, yo, somebody hit you, tell somebody. You know what I mean? Don't get yourself in any more trouble by hitting them back. Nah, fuck that. We both going down. Fuck it.
Right.
I'm not, nah. We both ready to get in trouble for this because I be damned. Tell somebody what they gonna do.
be a fool.
You'll get suspended for a day too. He'll be right back here punching me in my shit again.
Right.
And I'm just gonna keep telling him and let it go.
Right.
And if he don't do it here,
that's making
outside,
it worse, right?
He'll catch me outside when I'm home, hanging out with my friends, and punch me in my shit there. You know what I mean? Nah.
That's making it worse, right?
Nah.
Tell it, right? Because now
when I was growing up, it was you better whoop their ass or I'm gonna whoop your ass. That was how I was.
They crazy. Tell it. That make it worse by them making the motherfucker tell. Now you putting a label on me. Now I'm considered a sis ass nigga. Now I'm gonna get fucked with every time I go to school.
And not from just him. Everybody he know that.
Everybody else, right? That's why I say they creating a bigger problem. They don't even know that.
Like not when I can punch him back and nip this shit in the bud right now. Look, I'm not somebody you can fuck with. You know what I mean?
That's why
they don't teach him that shit.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
That shit set up to create workers out of our children. We trying to create bosses, man. I mean, I know that's where I'm at with it for sure. I'm trying to create bosses out of mine, bro. Teaching them how to create their own businesses or do whatever their gifts are, their talents. Push that. Put the blood, sweat, and tears into that. You'll get further in life. Cause just think about it, bro. If you had a job, right, doing something that you actually love doing, like me, for instance, cooking. I love that shit, bro. I could do that shit all day, every day. It's not even a job to me. So if I got a job that consists of me cooking, it ain't even a job to me. You know, I'm doing what I actually love doing.
Yeah. It would be like if I actually had did what the fuck I was supposed to do and played basketball and stuck with it. But instead, I didn't.
But multi-talented though, brother. You know what I'm saying? Cause you know it's all a choice in your world when you got options. You know what I'm saying?
Don't be wrong.
And you
I love that music shit. Like I love that music shit too, just as much. But I feel like if I was to have taken it serious, then yeah, like back in the day when I first started, if I would have stuck with it, then yeah, I probably would be somewhere right now. But at 36,
shit, nigga, that's it.
You know what I mean? Not saying it can't happen. I don't see it happening. You know what I mean? So I make music because I like to be creative. You know, I like music. I love hip hop. I love being around the people that I create the music with. Shit is dope. The vibe is cool. Like I just like being in the studio, even when I'm not recording. You know what I mean? I like being there because it's just dope. It's dope to watch. It's dope to watch my man Finch. Do his thing. You know what I mean? On a production tip, it's nice to watch the artists behind the glass and at the microphone putting their words together and making a hit. I mean, that shit is dope. Like it's dope. Even when I'm in there, like when I'm recording, I feel good being behind the microphone.
That shit for you, then, bro.
I love that shit.
When you get a feeling just by watching others' success within this shit, you know that shit for you, bro. And it's never too late. So we ain't even doing that age thing, brother. We ain't doing that. It's never too late.
No, I ain't saying it's late. I just at my age, it's not something that I'm like chasing. Like don't get me wrong, opportunity presents itself off of what I love to do and the art I love to create. Better, yes, but it's not really something I could drop everything and put 100% in because I still got other shit to do. You know what I mean? And I'd probably lose my fucking mind if I put my all into something and it didn't. That was probably my biggest fear of life, is putting my all into something and then not going.
I get it. I get that. Especially when there's other things that you feel like you need to focus on as a man, as far as building with himself and all of that good stuff, that's a process as well, So I definitely get it. Like, I had to take some risks, you know, as a man, like some really big risks, you know, especially having kids and shit, bro. But once I did, you know, everything fell in place. You know what I'm saying? Once I took that risk, once I went outside of that box that I've created for myself, because, you know, I've been got outside of the box that others created for me. You know what I'm saying? But you
Yeah,
create a box
hell yeah.
for yourself as well, you know. But once I got outside of that box, you know, everything took off, bro. Everything fell in place. Everything fell in place. You know, it definitely ain't as easy for some as it is for others and shit. 'Cause it took me a while, a long time. You know, the things that I'm doing now, I should have been doing. I should have been doing. I'm running my
Nah,
own
for real.
shit. You feel me, bro? Like seriously, you know. But that's why I say it ain't never too late. You feel me?
Nah, hell no.
Yeah.
I like music, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that, one of these times I might make a banger, you know what I mean? And it might do, you know what I mean, it might go crazy. I ain't saying that it can't happen. You know what I mean? Because, in this day and age, all you need is, some views. You know what I mean? And now everybody know who you are. You know what I mean? So
I mean, shit. Throw that up.
I'm
Okay,
not
cool.
saying
Y'all
that.
got
I'm just saying, all I'm saying is I ain't like, it ain't something I'm chasing, pretty much. Like, I make music, I record music, and I do that. I do all of that for the love of the craft. You know what I mean? And I'm always listening to other music, everybody else, and it's like, yo, I can do this. I know I can. So why not create my own music? You know what I mean? So yeah, you know what I mean. But don't get- don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? If I could get a banger, you know what I mean, and people take to it and like it, then oh yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna stop making music regardless. I'm really just trying to find my footing, like where I am as an artist. Like, all right, I know I can rap. All right, I can sing a little bit. So, how do I put these two together and find my niche?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm really
That
just experienced with everything. I'm collabing and doing features, and I'm really just doing whatever I can right now to find that glitch until I get something where I found good. I mean, I think my niche is somewhere in the, like, I like the Nate Dogg era or something like that. You know what I mean? But we'll see. I'll see.
I mean, that day will come when you really
I'll see
ready
where
to.
this shit go. I ain't gonna stop though. I'll tell you that. Like, I'm definitely full throttle in this shit.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, that time will come. That time will come. You know, but when we as men, you know, we feel like there's other things that we need to focus on. Instead of joy. That's the reason why I'm even having this topic right here. You know, the more you grow, the more you know. You know what I'm saying? And when I speak about the growing, it's the growth within self. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of work that we need to do within ourselves in order, you know, for us to present anything else out here. You know what I'm saying? So when I speak about the growth, that's what I mean. The work that needs to be done with itself. I hear a lot of people out here speaking about shit that they never experienced. And I'll be like, how the fuck can y'all believe in these things so heavily when you've never experienced this shit? You ain't even been around nobody that experienced this shit, but y'all speaking heavily of it though. Like that's crazy to me. You know, my only beliefs are those that the things that I've experienced. That's what I believe in. You know, but I see a lot of it, and it's becoming a cancer. That cancer is being spread rapidly. You hear me? Like seriously, the mindsets. I don't know, but when it comes to that. You know, I tell a motherfucker, put that blood, sweat, and tears into self, man. You get a lot
Right.
further in life.
Oh, you ain't lying. You gotta put that shit in yourself. It's
Mm-hmm.
the only way you'll do anything you want to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know. You look at things today, you'll feel like it's really too late, bro. When you look at how shit going with these kids, bro, it's like you wanna say fuck it, like, but then it's like, I can't just say fuck it, bro. I can't, cause then it's like we got kids, so I like saying fuck it is like saying fuck our own. You know what I'm saying? So I can't give up on them, and but I also have an understanding that, like I said, they gotta go through their own experiences in life, no matter what we're telling them. You know, we could be telling them the God's honest truth. Why? Because we've experienced these things already. So we are speaking to them based off of our experiences. But they gotta
Right.
experience these things themselves though, bro. For them to get that clear understanding. Like shit. I wish um I have hopes that, they don't take the routes, that I took. But at the same time, if that's a part of their experiences, I can't intervene on that, you know?
If it's one thing I know, my kids won't take the same route I did. My sons, they won't. I think I've shown them enough of me for them to put it in their heads that they don't want to be nothing like me. I hope, at least I hope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think I've shown them enough of me. And for whatever reason, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the way shit is right now.
I mean, that's a good thing, though, brother. Like, for real, because I speak on the fact that we can't put energy into things that we can't change. Only thing we can change is self. So having that mindset of being cool with however things is going, that's power. You know, that's power. Because at one point in time in life, our minds will be racing about this, that, and the other. Because there's so much going on. Especially when we got kids and the baby mamas and their situations become our situations. We play that role a lot, bro. We take on other people's problems a lot in life as a man. What the fuck is they talking about? They don't get that part now. They don't get that
Not
part.
like I used to. I used to. I used to. I don't now. If
Mm-hmm.
I'm being honest,
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Like, because I got my own problem. Like I help and assist where I can. I think the only thing I think I do is I'll show up. I'm gonna show up regardless. But I don't make nobody else's issues my issues because I got my own shit. You know, I don't want them to make my issues their issues. No,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
nah.
I mean, yeah, I'm with you on that. At this point in life, yeah, I'm definitely at that stage where I don't want to
Yeah,
have
I
no.
ain't.
Before, at one point in time, yeah, motherfucker was taking on all that energy. All
I
that
go.
energy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that shit, man, that shit can break the man down. You know, but once you've grown outside of that, because I start looking at it like this, like I just said, we can't put energy into things we can't change. We can't change other people, as far as how they choose to present themselves, how they choose to carry themselves. That's just who they are. You know, it's only a problem when we entertain
Damn.
it. So I've learned not to entertain certain shit. You know, because then if you entertain it, you become a part of it. You are what
Right.
you entertain. You know, so we can't keep calling these bum ass bitches if we entertain the bum ass bitches. Like we talking about. Can't call goofy ass niggas if we entertaining the goofy ass
Shit,
niggas.
I ain't.
You know,
I don't. I just know that I ain't in no position to frown upon or look down on nobody. Like I don't really care what anybody go through. I don't really care. Like I trust everybody to be themselves.
word.
You know what I mean? Um, I spent my life caring about other people's problems, sticking my neck out, being a bigger person. I don't even have that gesture in me no more. Like it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like
Hey, bro,
fuck it.
I told
You know,
I told
I admitted I overextended myself for the wrong people over a life, over a lifetime, and it bit me in my ass. Pause. So
look, I told my brother, right, 2 years to be selfish to other people. Can't hear me? I said it becomes a time in life. I told my brother it become a time in life where you're gonna have to become selfish, right?
yeah,
Or it's considered to be selfish to other people. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll get to a point where you feel like you put a lot of love, a lot of energy, a lot of respect, a lot of loyalty, a lot of that shit into other people, and you never receive that from those people. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
and then you was putting more into those people than you were putting into yourself. So once you sit back and realize that, it's like, okay, fuck all that.
See, with we're learning how to be selfish. We're learning how to be selfish. We tend to be selfish to everybody. You feel what I'm saying? And though we don't mean to be, that's just of what comes what comes with the nature of teaching yourself to be selfish. You teach yourself to be selfish to everybody before you teach yourself to be selfish to those who you should be selfish to. You feel what I'm saying? So it kind of fucks us in the long run. You know what I mean? Like, though it's the right trait to have, you don't have to use it against everybody. Like, we put that wall up, and and we tend to fuck over the people who really was genuine by being defensive and selfish. And it's not like we mean to. That's just the nature of learning. That sometimes you got to be selfish with you, but just not towards everybody. Like I'm learning. Like I'll say like I'm one of who is learning to be selfish towards the people I should be selfish to. Um, like I keep that shit a being. Like I am one of the people who I am learning that it's only certain people I need to be selfish towards. You know what I mean? And it's hard to be selfish toward those people, you know, because the love that still lingers. But it's coming around. You know. I'm still trying to find my footing in all of it, but I know that I don't want to be angry anymore. I don't want to be. I don't want to hold no weight on my chest, my shoulders. I don't want any of that shit. Like it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm here until I'm not, and I'm gonna keep going until I can't. And you know, people who are along for the ride, I love and appreciate you. And people who are no longer here, fuck you. You know, it's no love lost, but fuck you. I'm gonna keep you over there. Because over there is where you rather be. You know what I mean? And you know, if it don't help me keep my peace, yo, I'm just not fucking with it. Bottom line. Like I've been angry all my life. I've been fighting all my life. For what reasons I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but I know that being who I am has cost me a lot. Even though I will always feel like that part of me was brought out of me. And, you know, now I've learned where to direct that energy. You know what I mean? I've learned where to direct that energy. But it also cost me a lot. So
I can hear it now. That shit was tweaking, brother. You can hear me, bro?
yeah, I hear you. Yep.
All right, my bad, man. I was trying to get back to where
No,
I
you
was.
good, you good. I was still talking for her. I just paused to let you get right. I was still going though. You know what I mean?
Well, it's good that you was. It's good
I was
that
still
you
going.
stayed.
I had stopped to
Yeah.
let you get right for real, but I was still talking.
Word, word, word. I appreciate that though. You know, but I couldn't hear nothing. I couldn't hear nothing. So it's
Yeah,
cool,
we
man.
just
It's cool.
as a person, you know, you gonna go through your trials, you know. But if I could give any advice, I'll say when you start to find that self-sufficient, selfish love for yourself, you know, just try to learn where to direct it first,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because sometimes we tend to we tend to hurt some people we come across when learning how to be selfish and learning how to love thyself, you know. And I mean, though we don't mean it, you know, it could always be prevented, you know.
But
I'm
that's the
still
power
learning, so I get it.
in it, though, brother. That's the power within it, knowing and having an understanding of it versus not knowing. You know, when you know something, you can work on it. You know, when you don't know nothing, you out here lost on it. You know, you
Yeah.
continuously push that type of energy. But you know, when you know something, you have a choice. You know, you have a choice. But
Yo,
hard work, it definitely.
if I've learned one thing, I'll say the biggest part about finding the right and wrong in the situation is figuring out both parts you played.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
Word.
You know what I mean? Because in every situation, you're gonna play a bad part, and then eventually you're gonna play a good part. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's all gonna come with a price.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
Mm-hmm. That's
it's all
why
gonna
they
come with a price.
when it comes to
So
the arguments, you know, or which whatever, which it ain't a lot of that shit. But when it do happen, right, you know what I say? I apologize for the role that I played. You feel me? Like that's saying to me, for me, ain't nobody right, ain't nobody wrong. I apologize for the role that I played within that, you know?
yeah,
And that's that, bro. You know? But even when it come to that, I spoke on that with the relationships and shit with our significant others. Like it's just so much shit, bro, that has to be done. You know, with himself as an individual. You know, in order to deal with anyone outside of that. You know, that's why I say self love is the number one key for me. You know, man, I don't know what the fuck I just did.
self love is the number one key. Shit, you gotta love yourself.
Sure, for sure.
You gotta love yourself.
Gotta love yourself first. Gotta love yourself first.
Shout out to my man Hondo. If you didn't know, check him out. His Instagram, Chris Harris. Facebook, Chris Harris. His clothing line, Ugly. You gotta love yourself. Go cop that. Trying to tell you right now.
Word. That's
Shit is
fire.
fire.
That's fire. Love is love. You know it.
For
Definitely
real.
love first. You hear me, bro? When I first was, on my journey and shit, and I was building with a family on Instagram, and that's one of the first things that I spoke about. And I asked them, I'm like, I say y'all say y'all love y'all kids and stuff like that, but it's like, where's that love coming from if you don't love yourself first? Like, if you don't love yourself, where's the love that you're saying you have for others coming from? Where's it coming from? If you
Nah,
don't
you
love
right.
yourself first, that's how I
That's some
look
real
at it.
shit.
So I say, man, I even told my kids at one point in time, like, man, for a minute, I didn't really love y'all. And they didn't get why I was saying it, but then I broke it down to why I said it. Like, I didn't know myself at the time. So, how could I say I loved y'all if I wasn't loving myself? You know? That's how I broke that one down. But
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could say as a youngin, you know what I mean. I became a father. You know what I mean. I chose to be a father at 21. Um, became a father at 23. Um, at first, I regretted it all. Not even gonna. I'm gonna just go ahead and fuck it, whatever. Keeping it real, we're gonna keep it real.
mm-hmm.
I regretted it all. I was young. I I had conflicted feelings about my baby mother because she had did some foul shit. So I felt trapped. You know what I mean? I felt trapped the whole time I was with her. I hated it. But I felt like I had to stay because I didn't grow up in a 2-parent household. You know what I mean? Like my parents weren't together. So I felt like I had to stay. You know what I mean? And like I hated it. I hated it. I hated her. I started to hate her anyway. And because I started to hate her, I started resenting my kids. We finally split in 2013. And I don't know who I wanted to convince more that I guess I wasn't a deadbeat. Me or them or the world. Because I did check on them every day when we first split. And I think I got them every day. I worked second shift at a warehouse. I was a forklift operator. I don't know, I just hated it. I hated it all around the board, to be honest. I hated it. I got older. I went through enough. Like I just went through a period where I was mentally fucked up because all my life I'm like, yo, I don't want to be like my dad, who really ain't even that bad. It was just off of what I was told and what I heard, and all that other shit. And I felt like I was being forced to be that type of dad. You know what I mean? And I never wanted to be that type of dad. So I raised hell. I ain't gonna lie. I beat everybody the fuck up. I didn't care, fighting, wherever, with whoever. Ultimately, where I am now with my kids started because of me. You know what I mean? I don't know if I was ever. I guess this is probably the most honest I've ever been with myself right here, live, in your face, about the whole shit. And I don't get me wrong. Like I've definitely pondered it back and forth, and I thought about it. Who to blame. No, I'm not all the way to blame, but I realized the part I played and the bullshit that went on in my life. You know what I mean? And ultimately, it was because I wasn't selfish with me. I was trying to do everything I could to please everybody that I loved that I was around. Even force myself into becoming this version of me that I don't even really like.
Creating the image. I spoke about that.
I'm so stuck in my ways with it. And I guess that's why the bullshit continues now. Because somewhere deep down that hate is still there. But I'm a work in progress. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the key to the change, bro, is knowing the problem. It's always going to the root, and the fact that you're speaking on that right now, that's power. You know what I'm saying? That's growth. That's what I speak about. The growth. You know what I'm saying? So knowing these things. Like I said, when you don't know, that's when you're confused and still pushing that type of energy. But when you do know, you have an option. Whether you want to change these things and continue this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely get it now. You know what I mean? Like I sit back and I laugh at it sometimes. It's like, nigga, you stupid ass. But whatever. You know, I don't really care.
I can tell you this though, bro.
I've learned to forgive myself. I'm learning to forgive everything.
I can definitely relate to the situations with the baby Bob and the kids and all of that shit, bro. And it's crazy because I used to tell your sister all the time. I said, man, me and bro was able to have a conversation when it come to this shit. Oh
Yeah.
man, like what? I'm talking about literally same shit, bro. Same
Yo,
shit, bro. Like what? Like nigga. Same names and all that. Like we ain't gonna get into it though.
nah, real shit.
Man, like, yeah, but I can definitely relate to that, bro, because I had to go through some shit when it come to that, bro. You know, and same shit you just said, bro. I ain't no bad, but I was trying to prove it to myself, her, or the world. Same shit, bro. Same shit, you know? But then I started realizing how much of a problem I was within the shit, you know? So that's when the changes within me kicked in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta make some changes with himself. What the fuck? I can't hear again. Oh shit. You can hear me, bro?
Yeah. PS5s, I might jump on the game for a little while. I know I gotta go out and start my fucking car. I know that. Then you know.
Ever when they rapping, tell your life story and what really fucking happened. I can see clearly now that the